It was a quiet, sunny morning in the little countryside town, but under the shadow of a large oak tree, a tiny bird perched all alone. His feathers glistened in the daylight, but his eyes were glistening too, with tears. The bird was crying softly, its tiny chest rising and falling in despair. He had lost his family, his flock, his home. Flying from one tree to the next hadn't helped. Now he was scared and terribly lonely. Not far away, two little friends named Meko and Zezo were walking to school hand in hand. Meko was 5 years old, with bouncy curls and a red backpack covered in star stickers. Zezo, 6 and full of energy, had big brown eyes and a blue hat that always seemed a little too big for him. As they chatted about what games they might play during recess, something unusual caught Zezo's attention. "Look, Meko," Zezo said, pointing toward the oak tree. "There's a bird over there. I think he's crying." "A crying bird? That sounds really sad. Let's go see what's wrong." The two hurried over, kneeling gently in front of the tiny bird. He looked at them with watery, fearful eyes, shuffling his little claws nervously. Tears rolled down his beak, and Meko and Zezo could see how upset he was. "Oh no," said Meko softly, crouching low so her face was closer to his. "Why are you crying, little bird? Are you hurt?" "And where's your family?" Zezo asked, raising his hand like a shade above his eyes to look for other birds nearby. But there were none. Not in the oak tree, not in the neighboring bushes. The little bird chirped in a way that sounded heartbreaking, and though they couldn't understand his language, they knew he was saying he had lost his family. Mako's heart ached. "Don't be sad, birdie. We're here now and we'll help you." "Yeah," Zezo added, nodding firmly. "We'll make sure you're safe and you won't feel lonely anymore. You can come with us." The bird fluffed his feathers anxiously, still unsure, but Meko reached into her backpack and pulled out a small packet of crackers. "Are you hungry? You can have some of my snack. I don't mind." She broke off tiny pieces, holding them out to him in her palm. The bird hesitated at first, but then hopped closer and began pecking at the crumbs. The children giggled softly, careful not to scare him. "You see," said Zezo, "we're your friends now. You don't have to cry anymore." Meko grinned brightly. "And after school, we'll take you home to our garden. There's shade and flowers, and we can ask our parents if they know how to help you find your family. And while you're waiting, you'll have us, and you'll never feel lonely again." The bird chirped, and though his voice was still timid, there was a spark of hope in his eyes. It wasn't his family, but it was something warm, something kind. They tucked him safely into Zezo's hat, carrying him carefully as they headed off to school, already brainstorming ideas to make their garden the coziest place for their new feathered friend. It wasn't the same as finding his lost flock, but sometimes family isn't just the one you're born into. Sometimes it's the people or little humans who choose to love you. And as the bird nestled into Zezo's hat, his sadness began to melt away, replaced by a small, fluttering hope.